Serving up a warm dish of the Triad's culinary fare, here's your weekly helping of food, news, and views. This is the man who ate the town.
Hey folks, and welcome to episode 177 of the Man Who Ate the Town podcast. This is for the week of November 23rd through the 29th, 2020. My name is Tim Beeman.
My name's Ray Morgan.
And we are opening the recipe box. We are recording this episode of the Man Who Ate the Town in the Less Desirable Studio South, a.k.a. my house. We are practicing social distancing and using Zoom, sponsored by Bull's Tavern. Leah is with a client this morning, so she may or may not show up. I do not expect her to show up, but if she does, great. So it's all, this is not, for Ray and Leah, this is not their main gig. This is my main gig, or one of my two main gigs, but I like having them here when I can. So
we enjoy being here when we can.
Well, I am so glad to heir that. So if anyone
and
was
this week we're recording this week before the food coma sets in.
That's right. So next week we should be recovered. That's a good thing about Thanksgiving being Thursday, and then we record on Mondays. So
yeah.
If anyone's wondering, and I'm sure they weren't, but just in case, my 50th birthday, best birthday ever. Man, I felt like a king. I had people around me who loved me. I had fantastic food, a great time. I felt good. It was just amazing. So everything was fan-frickin-tastic. It was so good. 50.
I'm glad to hear that.
50 has never felt that good to me.
And how did 50 feel to you before?
Old.
It's funny how when you hit 50, it suddenly becomes much younger.
Yeah. Because when you're younger, even in your 20s or even early 30s, you're like, man, they're old when you talk about somebody in their 50s. I don't feel old. I mean, no older than normal. I feel 60, but that's me. So,
but in your head,
in my head, yeah, I feel better about 50 now than I did a week ago.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm all right.
Yeah, I can appreciate now when my grandfather turned 90. He said, "All right. I guess now I can claim it." Claim what? I'm old. Like, you had to wait till you were 90? He's like, well, yeah. I didn't want to claim it too early.
They say it's cliche, but I can see it now that 50 is the new 30 or 40 or whatever they want to go with. I'm good with it. I did find out that in some circles, I am now officially a senior. So, so I'm like, when do those discounts start kicking in? That's what I want to
know. Generally 55. However, you can, now that you've crossed the threshold, you can and you will be solicited to join AARP.
Oh, I was solicited to join them a month ago, and I'm like, hey, don't rush me.
Yeah.
Not quite yet. I may do it, but I'm not doing it until I'm 50. So,
yeah, they do have some really good advantages. Yeah. So, yeah, it's worth looking into. And besides, you'll get this really stylish carrying case to go with your membership.
Yeah, they said it was a 3-piece organizer in it for me if I wanted to go in. I might have to go just for the organizer and then cancel or something.
I'm going to have to cancel and come back just to get that.
Yeah.
I got the handy dandy overnight tote, which they failed to mention that if this thing is designed to be overnight, it's for overnight for like a 2-year-old.
You can take your 2-year-old's pacifier in it.
Right. I mean, there's no way it's not going to hold a pair of my shoes and a change of clothes. Forget my CPAP.
Yeah.
And my favorite pillow. All that stuff is going to have to go into my suitcase. So,
Yeah. Oh, well, you can like carry a book or something with it.
Congratulations on turning 50.
Thank you. I feel great. Village Juice announced that they are closing their downtown location at least until spring. This is mostly because of the cases spiking, the downtown foot traffic and activity is slow, and the uncertainty of the times. Their location at the Towers Shopping Center on Stratford is still open regular hours. This is supposed to be temporary, but the way things are, I wouldn't be surprised if they don't open this location back up. I hope that's not the case, and my fingers are crossed for them.
They spent an awful lot to upfit that space and really made it look nice, very sleek and modern, very comfortable. You'd hope that as business returns to downtown, they'll be able to reopen.
Right.
But I mean, it's prime real estate, and they may be closed, but the landlord didn't go, hey, guess what? Don't worry about rent. That's fine. I don't need that. Yeah. That's just a formality. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, because I know the rent I know people on 4th Street, and the rent there is not cheap. So, especially high visibility spot like that.
It doesn't get much more high visibility than that right there.
Right, corner of Marshall and 4th Street, right beside Bull's Tavern, across from Stevens Center, across the street from Mellow Mushroom, catty corner from Jeffrey Adams. So that's pretty high profile right there.
Yeah, and then you've got the really nice hotel there right behind it. I hate to hear that for them. I know they were very excited when they took their concept downtown. There wasn't anything else like that down there. I know that folks did follow them from their Stratford location, and from what I understood, Stratford didn't suffer a significant loss of income. People were still frequenting both. But yeah, you can imagine with fewer and fewer people crowding downtown that it would be hard for them, and I'm sure for every other business that's happening down there.
Yeah. So, again, our fingers are crossed for them. This just came in to me, and I'm allowed to say something about it. They were checking that. I was checking on it, but because I don't want to leak anything that is told to me in confidence, and I was given the go-ahead. Butcher and Bull are saying to their PR folks that they won't be reopening until the second quarter of 2021. I don't really know why they're waiting so long. I don't know that the PR people know what's going on. They just said at this point they're not planning to reopen until sometime in quarter number 2. Perhaps in anticipation of more COVID spread or waiting for a vaccine. I don't know. I can't believe that the Marriott will let them sit that long idle. But then again, I don't know that Marriott's doing much either. So, so maybe sure, just take that. But
I hate to hear that they're not going to be open. I mean, they were all those folks not working. You hate to hear that.
Yeah.
But by the same token, we're seeing more spread in our country now than we did back in the spring when we did shut everything down.
This is true. Hopefully, though, it's looking promising on now a third vaccine. That's almost ready for stuff. So I don't know. We're still looking probably that far, quarter 2, 2021, before the mass general public get access to the vaccine. I know the first responders and frontline folk will get vaccinated first, including the restaurant people. And then I am high risk, so I would probably be in the second or third wave before most other people that I know. And so we're just, I don't know what's going on. Nobody does. But I don't know why they're anticipating waiting that long. But, I'm not in their boardroom. I'm not in anything like that, so I don't know how things are going on that.
Well, realistically, you're looking at probably 5-6 month window is what they're saying.
Yeah.
Are they going to change? Are they just shutting down, or is this a pivot? And that's why they're calling it into second quarter. Makes you wonder.
Yeah, but they've already pivoted once in the last year and a half, and I think that was starting to get some momentum. But again, I'm not in the boardroom when these things go on, so I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, and no telling. Marriott may have some ideas for them.
They may do it. I have talked.
Lots of speculation.
Yeah, and that's all this is.
It is.
That's what any of this is right now, because nothing is for sure. I've talked again with the PR company for them. It's Capture Media, and they have assured me that they would let me know as soon as they know something. But they've been held in the dark too, so that's why I've not mentioned anything about it in the last 2 months, because I don't know. They didn't know. And if they're the ones that are promoting and don't know and couldn't even get anybody to answer them, I don't know.
Yeah.
But it sounds like because they have given, Butcher and Bull gave the go-ahead for me to mention it, so I'm sure that they at least have some plans. And I hope they do. I hope they come back because I loved the restaurant the time that we got to go and try food. Richard, I don't know if Richard's still there. I don't know what's going on, but I hope it comes back similar to what it was, because I liked it.
Yeah. So. Yeah. I will say I appreciate that you don't put it out there unless you've gotten permission and you know that it's a truth. It's not, we can speculate and have fun speculating, but you don't throw it out there unless you know for a fact.
Right. And my thing is, there are a couple of people in this town, and I'm not going to mention any names. I will say Michael Hastings is not one of those. Michael Hastings is really good with embargo, like I like to think that I am. If you tell me that this is on the down low and don't say anything until, then that's what's going to happen. Because I like to think of myself not as a gossip monger and not as a scooper. I like to have a scoop, but I like getting the scoop from the person.
Yeah.
And it being, I would actually rather them come on the show and tell me about it and tell everybody about it than me trying to scoop somebody. But there's a couple of individuals in this town who want to just go out and throw it out because they want to be the first to let you know. And that's okay if it's true. But if you're just speculating and throwing that out, then you're not helping anybody. You're not helping the business. It's not your thunder to clap, first of all. So you're out there trying to steal somebody else's thunder, and that's just not cool. So if you're doing that, stop it. Mission Pizza Napolitana announced that they are taking an extended break. I don't know for how long. On the Mission page, Peyton says, they say if you do what you love, you'll never work a day in your life. Today, for the first time in 7 years, it felt like work. So we are taking an extended break. See you when we see you. Thanks and gratitude to all who support us. Peyton. Times are tough. I don't know what toll this takes on folks. I hope this is not too long. So, Peyton, if you do listen to this, if you need me, call me. I'm here.
You hate to hear it. You hate to hear it. Honestly, I'm going to throw out a radical concept. The people who, the landlords, the mortgage holders, the folks that people are paying for all these buildings, man, you're going to have to let go of some profit this year, and you're going to have to share with some of the folks that you've been having as clients to keep them in business. If you're spending $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 a month on rent for your business and you're closed for 6 months, how do you come back from that? When most businesses are operating on fairly thin margins to begin with, we're going to have to look at some things in this country that we've never looked at before. And one of them might actually be a little bit of grace and forgiveness. I'm just going to say it.
Yeah, I don't know that that's the case of what he's going on here. I mean, that is certainly the case in some other places. I think he and his land folk have have a really good relationship on that. But because he says, it just felt like work. So I don't know. So I really don't know what's what's going on there, but I hope it's just not burnout, but just needing a break. Because I know he tried to stay open when it first happened and do takeout only, and his pizza, he doesn't like doing takeout because it's not conducive to good pizza. It's made to come straight out of the oven, straight to your table and into your mouth. But that's just didn't work that way. And so, I mean, I hope it's just circumstantial that he's just taking a break and this is not a long-term thing. Right up the street, 2 or 3 doors up, our official Latin food sponsor, Mojito Latin Soul Food, is closed this week and will reopen next Wednesday. They're only open Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday anyway. And with the holiday coming, Wednesday and Thursday is going to be out. So I know Michael went hunting. So
there you go.
Yeah, so he went hunting, and Michelle's probably spending some time with the kids and some whatever. But just they've been busting their ass since they got started. So
having a week off is a good thing.
Yeah, yeah, because they've got the food truck, the tuning fork food truck, and if you don't get the reference, it's going to be at Fiddlin' Fish, and what do you tune a fiddle with? A tuning fork. So it's going to be tuning fork provisions is what it's called. That's what the rebranded truck's going to be. And they are always evolving their business plans, and with vacation and time to think, who knows what will be in the works next. I can't wait to find out. I love the shit out of those guys. I spent Saturday night there with the remaining party from my birthday celebration that we had in my yard. I got to introduce 1/3 of the beer dads to the fantastic food and people at Mojito, and they said that it was going on their rotation. They were very pleased to getting familiar with the food and with Michael. He was out there, so it was really cool. Paul, our friend Paul, who's in TBD with us, has already been there. He'd been there with me before, and then John, the other beer dad, came on and came with us, and he and his wife, they loved it. We sat outside. It was remarkably warm for the end of November, and so, yeah, it was really good. Speaking more of my birthday, like anyone wants to hear it, Stephanie, my mother, and I went to BLL Rotisserie Factory on Friday after the TBD meeting, and Simon bought our lunch and even sent out some tiramisu. Man, I just love that place. I love the hell out of it. It's a good little place and great people there.
Food is always so good.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they've been there, 30 years now? Something like that?
27.
There you go. Long time. And the food has always been top drawer.
It certainly has. Because my mom had, the gastric bypass, so she can't eat a whole lot. So what she usually does is when we go out to eat, she just has some of mine just to get a feel for what it is. So I got the rotisserie chicken stromboli, and she had a piece of that, and she loved it. And Stephanie had the cheesesteak supreme, or cheesesteak special, and she had a little bit of that, and that was good to her too. So, and then she had tasted the tiramisu, so she had a good time. Simon took care of us, and I thank him and Ramona and Lucia and all the folks over there for everything that they do. They are class acts.
Yeah. And it's one of those little places that, I mean, it's not tucked away. I mean, it's right there at a major intersection in town. But if you haven't been, man, it is a gem from Winston-Salem. You got to go.
It certainly is. They're closed on Sundays, so people know, and they are open for lunch and, or as Simon says, lunch and dinner Monday through Saturday. So definitely go give them a chance. Later that night on my birthday, we had dinner at Carrabba's, and Daniel and Sam took care of us over there. We had delicious wine, fantastic sangrias, mozzarella, fried mozzarella, pork chops, sausage and lentil soup. Yeah, and it was marvelous, darling, marvelous.
Well, of course it was. It was a Carrabba's. What do you expect?
Yes. And I think Daniel and Sam being the general manager over there, and Daniel, of course, being our recurring guest and friend, more friend than anything. But they just do. Again, I know it's a superlative that comes out of my face so much with them. They do fantastic work. And they do. So I don't feel like I need to change that. No. When
it earns the superlative, it's the appropriate choice.
Right. And that's how I feel about it. It's good.
I was going to say you don't give that lightly, but you give it easily.
Right. If a place earns that, I have no problem using it ad nauseum. I mean, if it is fantastic, we just tell it how it is. I try to tell it how it is all the time. If it's okay,
maybe we go light on the nauseum part.
Right. All right, it's time for Getting in Your Business, and we want to welcome from Sisters for Change, Winston-Salem, Miss Hatasha Carter. Oh, not to laugh. I meant the...
Hello.
Welcome.
I hit the wrong button. Yes, welcome here. We've been trying to do this for a couple of weeks now, and I finally got you.
Yes,
on.
Yes.
So, let's start with the basics. What is Sisters for Change Winston-Salem?
Absolutely. So we are a local grassroots organization that's been active for since about June. We are really boots on the ground in our lower income communities. And right now, our main focus is on feeding our community. We offer other services as well. We clothe individuals, other assistance that they may need, if they need food, if they need financial assistance, just if they need clothing, if they need to get their medications, or senior citizens, different services. We really try to cater to the individuals who have exhausted all other routes of assistance and try to assist them the best we can.
So where does the majority of your assistance come from? Not who you assist, but where does the assistance come from?
Yeah, so right now, majority of our assistance, the community has been very supportive. We've had a lot of community support from Winston-Salem, and also out of pocket. A lot of funds come out of pocket, and so just whatever assistance that we're able to get from the community is really appreciated, because it's a lot of people out there that need help. And like I said, right now we have some funds, but a lot of funds are coming out of pocket at this point.
Well, Ray, you are very in tune with charitable organizations and things like this, nonprofits. You are a pastor of 2 churches. You were part of the Shalom Project here in Winston-Salem with Green Street Church. And things. So, what are you have questions and stuff? Because I know this is right up your alley.
Well, I'm curious, Natasha, where do people come to get the help that you're doing?
Yes, sir. So we have an application. Most of the people reach out to us via either social media, or they'll contact us by phone or email. Those are the most common routes to get in touch with us. And there's just a simple application that we have for people to fill out. And then from that point, we determine what we're able to assist with and provide the services to the individuals. Most people, I would say probably about 95% of the people that we assist contact us through social media, probably, and word of mouth.
So when they do that,
your social media on, go ahead.
No, I'm sorry, Ray. So when they do that, is that they're like in your system, and that's a constant thing, or do they need to reapply every time when they need something else?
No, sir. Depending on the services, as far as financial assistance goes, that is something that has to be reapplied for, and and that's only available every 6 months per person. Okay. Things like food or sanitation needs, things of that sort. There's really no. We try to do it maybe once a month. Which, if we assist you this month, then we try to wait at least 30 days before we assist again, unless it's an emergency. But the financial assistance is really the only thing that we have a time frame on.
Okay.
Yes,
so where will they find you on social media?
Yes, so on social media, we have our Facebook page, and that's Sisters for Change dash Winston-Salem. We have an Instagram page as well. That's Sisters for Change without the Winston-Salem. And then we have our website that you can contact us on, Sisters for Change, winstonsalem.org, and then also via telephone. But right now, as far as social media, we're on Facebook and Instagram.
That's where you're saying primarily folks are finding you currently.
Absolutely. Especially initially starting off, that was majority of our people, and still it is, as far as people reaching out to us. Now, however, as we're growing, we have more people reaching out to us directly through telephone. They heard about us, someone told them about us, and they need assistance. So we're getting a lot more word of mouth referrals.
Where do they actually come to get the food or the clothing or the other assistance that you're doing for them?
Yeah, so we deliver all of our services. We'll go right to their homes and deliver it to them. Of course, we are COVID safe, and so we try not to go inside the homes, but we will deliver it to the individuals.
The not store, but the place to porch kind of delivery.
Exactly.
Contactless
delivery. Yeah.
So
yes.
So on the social media, I'm looking at the Facebook page here. Not only can they reach out to get assistance, they can also reach out if someone's interested in volunteering with you.
Absolutely. And as we're growing, we need volunteers. We are growing really rapidly. And so we actually have a lot of volunteer applications coming in, and I'm happy about that. But we definitely need some more. Like I said, we feed the community twice a week, and we feed them off of Liberty Street and Patterson Street. Off of Patterson is close to the Bethesda Center for the Homeless. And so we set up there, and we do that. And that's primarily where we need the most volunteers at, is our community eats that we do each.
I'm quite aware of that location because I'm in the building, not currently, but my studio is in the building at the bottom of the hill there, right beside the Rock Box bouldering place. So I'm in the long brick building in the fence there at the bottom. Yeah.
Okay.
So
we're kind of I'm not sure if you're familiar. It's like a Church's Chicken.
Yep.
Yeah. So we set up like right in that area. We have a big blue tent out there. it's a little parking lot kind of diagonal from the Church's Chicken that we set up at.
Yeah, so if you go back up the hill on Patterson towards Liberty from there, you will turn on 11th Street, and then you make that weird curve, and it's the first building on your left is where my studio is. So
I think I'm familiar.
Yeah, so I'm right there. What not services, what do you need?
Right now, our biggest need is food to continue our community eats initiative. Sorry about that.
That's all right.
Alarm.
Somebody's cooking.
Yes, they are.
Get those burn and serve rolls. That's what my mom used to make.
Oh, that's funny.
So our community eats initiative is what we're needing the most assistance in. We're very passionate about that, and that's one of the things that stands us apart from a lot of other organizations is our consistency, and we take pride in that. We're out there every week. Unless it's a hurricane coming through, we've been out there in the rain, we've been out there in the dark, we're out there, and people really appreciate it. The longer that we're out there, the longer the line we see. People start lining up while we're setting up. So, and quality of the food that we serve is something that we also take pride in. We try to serve, I hate to say it in this way, but we try to serve meals that we want to eat,
Right.
So we have, pork chops, or we'll have tacos, or we'll have roast, just different things, and try to stand apart from the typical soup kitchen foods, even though, it feeds the people, but sometimes people want a home cooked meal.
So is this excuse me, is this generally done cooked on site, or is it cooked ahead of time and brought here, or is it donated from restaurants and things like that?
No, all myself and all of our volunteers cook it at home, and then we bring it on site. It's cooked usually the day of in the morning, and then by the time we're done cooking, it's time to set up. But all the food is prepared at our homes and fresh, and we bring it out there, set up like a buffet style, and just serve the community. It's not specifically just for the homeless. It's for somebody who may not want to cook dinner that night, and and so they can come out there and grab a plate. So it's really just something that we're offering to our community. We're out there if you need us.
Do you take donations from restaurants and things like that?
Absolutely, and we are. We will be appreciative if we're able to get more donations. We have had some restaurants and local bakeries and such donate to us, but like I said, majority of this comes out of pocket, and so we need as many donations as we can. If a restaurant wants to host a community eats one day, just provide the food, we'd be happy to serve it. Or if they want to provide us with the food and we'll cook it, either way, anything at this point is really appreciated.
Okay.
Are you working with Second Harvest Food Bank at all?
We don't work with Second Harvest Food Bank. I have considered reaching out to them, but as of today, we have not had contact with Second Harvest.
I think we would both highly encourage you. Yeah, talk to Second Harvest.
And I have contact information if you need it.
Awesome.
I can certainly get that, because my wife used to be the communications assistant for them, and one of my business partners is a former employee. One of my current business partners is also a former employee who is actually a co-host on this show, but she couldn't be here today. So so we are definitely fans of the Second Harvest Food Bank of Northwest
Absolutely.
North Carolina, and they can be your best friends.
You can
Okay.
get food for
Yeah.
like 3 cents on the dollar.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I'll
So
definitely.
yeah, and they want they get the food, but they want people to go help get it out into the community, and that's
Okay.
exactly what you're doing. So I
Yeah.
know they would love to work with you. I'm curious, Natasha, why? What's fueling this? Why start Sisters for Change Winston Salem?
Yeah, so I started off with the protests that were happening earlier this year.
Yeah.
I was very active in that. I decided, and once I got tired of marching, I wanted to do something more hands-on and more boots on the ground. That's more of
Mm-hmm.
my. Um, this has always been something that has been close to my heart that I've always wanted to do, and so during these hard times right now, I figured what better time to start it. Um, I've been in a lot of these situations that a lot of the people that we assist have been in, and I've been hungry. I've been in need of diapers for my children or some financial assistance to help pay my rent, and it's not a good situation. It's very stressful, and so if there's just anything that I can do to help people relieve some of that stress or take one of those boulders off of their shoulders, then that's what we're here for. It's something that's very genuine and passionate to me, and my other sisters. There's four of us total, as far as the executives of Sisters for Change, and the other ladies are also very passionate about this. And together, we're just wanting to make an impact on as many people as we can, and let them know that there's still somebody out there.
I was getting ready to ask because I know it's Sisters for Change and not just Sister for Change, and I was going to see how many of you there were, but that's
Yeah.
so there's 5 of you total.
There's four of us total.
Okay.
There's myself, the CEO and founder. There's we have Io Powell, who is our vice president. We have Tisha Hawthorne, who is our treasurer, and Donna Carter, who is our secretary. And then we have a handful of volunteers as well, who a lot of this wouldn't be possible without. It'd be a lot harder without them. And so, yes, sir.
Okay. Ray, you have more? I see you getting ready to ask another question.
Well, actually, yes, I have more before off air. There's some other people in Winston-Salem that I would like for you to meet.
Yeah.
Because they have the same kind of heart and
Yeah.
vision that you do, and I believe that they would be willing to help.
I would appreciate that. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll talk.
Yeah.
We'll talk a little after this conversation. Stay on for a minute, and we'll
Okay.
go over some stuff.
Okay.
I'm excited to hear what you're doing.
Yeah.
And that, like you said, you took the passion of the protest and said, all right, how do I make this concrete and daily? How do I make it real?
Yeah.
I can't just say, I want change to happen. All right, we'll see you later. Bye.
Exactly.
I want change to happen. I have to be that change. I have to
Exactly.
take that step.
Exactly.
You took one step, and look, you've already pulled a whole bunch of people along with you.
Michael Jackson's song "Man in the Mirror," you know, it starts with
Yes.
the person you're looking at first to make a change.
Exactly.
So,
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And you know, like it was said, I had to do something that was more concrete, you know, for this to be so close to my heart. I had to. I believe it's what I was put here to do, and so any way that we can help people, and we don't. One thing about our group that I take pride in, we're not just that organization that offers just these services. You know, if there's a service out there that you need that we can help with, please just contact us, even if they think that we may not be able to help. Just contact us and just let us know, and we'll help in any way we can. Any effort that we can take, we will be there for them.
Awesome. Can you give us the information one more time, how to find you?
Yes, sir. So we can be found on Facebook, on Sisters for Change Winston-Salem, Instagram, Sisters for Change, and then we also have our website, sistersforchangewinstonsalem.org. So all three of those means we can be contacted. We also have our phone number, and that phone number is 336-850-1308. And so we can be contacted on that phone number when we don't have, I hate to say, but we don't have typical business hours. So, if it's 8 o'clock at night and you need to give us a call, just give us a call.
Yeah, because people don't need business hours. They need
Exactly.
all the time.
Right.
They need all the time.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's exactly right.
Look, it's 6 o'clock. My needing is over.
Yeah. Exactly. So
Yeah.
even if it's a Saturday, even if it's Sunday, if it's 8 o'clock at night, just reach out to us. Someone usually is always available to talk to them.
Awesome. Well, Natasha, I have really enjoyed you being on here,
Thank you.
and wish you an immense amount of luck that this is successful, not for you, but
Thank
for the
you.
people who are in need of you.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, and I do appreciate it. We have so much other stuff coming up. We're in the process. Actually, I just wanted to say.
Oh, absolutely. Anything you got, you tell it right now.
Yeah. We have our Christmas toy drive coming up. We have a toy drop off that we're partnering with Quality Education Academy with, and that flyer can be found on our Facebook and Instagram pages. And so we're just asking people to come out and donate toys. The toys are going to the children in the foster care, and then also the children in our lower income communities. And so, and we're in the process of trying to start a free cooking classes for children. And so we have a lot that we're in the plans of.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for sharing your vision with us, and you and your sisters, and and if we can help you in any other way, reach out like you already have, and we will do what we can. Can't promise it'll be a ton of stuff, but if we can help one iota, we're going to. So
absolutely, I appreciate you.
Absolutely, man. That was a great conversation.
Man, I'm so impressed by her.
So again, if any of the listeners are so inclined to help, to volunteer, to donate, anything like that, check her out on the Facebook page that she gave, and don't hesitate to call or email as well. All right, well, let's get into some food holidays. This week has a big one. So probably the biggest food holiday ever is this week. So let's start with
that was your birthday, though, wasn't it? I thought that was the biggest food holiday.
Turns out that's the second biggest. So today is the 23rd. It is Eat a Cranberry Day. Okay.
One.
Just one cranberry.
Just
really?
Do
you want to eat more than one?
Not really.
They're kind of tart and sour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're better in something or juiced.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I like them when because I don't know that I've actually ever had a full-on cranberry, but if cranberry juice and sauce is anything, because I know that's derived from a cranberry, then it's probably a lot more concentrated and more powerful. So,
you think it would be acceptable on Eat a Cranberry Day to just like have a cranberry and vodka?
Yes, it would.
Would that count?
I'm officially, because I have this power, I'm officially going to call it Drink a Cranberry Day.
Drink a Cranberry Day, yes.
Yeah. Vodka and cranberry is good.
The more inclusive holiday.
That's right. It's
Eat
also
or drink a cranberry.
Yes, whatever you do with it, include alcohol, because. Oh, I forgot to tell you, on my birthday, I got our friend Jeff Davids brought, and his wife Linda brought to my house a whole bottle of Crown Royal and 2 Crown Royal glasses, rocks glasses.
Nice.
Our friend Paul brought me 2 high gravity beers in big bomber bottles. You know, the 60 or the big ones. I don't know how much they hold.
One drink size.
It's like a Crowler, but in a bottle. You know, the Crowler's the big 32 ounce, so it's probably like close to a half a liter or something like that. But my friend Jim brought some Templeton rye to me. So I love rye whiskey. If I'm having whiskey, it's my absolute favorite. And then Beer Dad John brought this Ragged Branch oak or double oaked whiskey or wheat. Let me see. Double oaked.
Say it right now.
Double oaked wheated straight bourbon whiskey. And it was 123.52%. Proof. So 67% alcohol. And the significance of this was it was from his barrel. He and friends go in on last year, 2 years ago, it was Three Roses. This year it was the Ragged Branch. They go in and invest on their own barrel. So they get so many bottles made from that for them to do what they want to do with. So I got some of his whiskey. So, and we all tried it. And I had a cigar from Top Leaf Cigar Lounge, Bethany, who co-hosts the Less Desirables with me. She gave me a cigar for my birthday, and so I had this with that. Stephanie bought me some Ardbeg Scotch, which is campfire in a bottle, and so I was sitting high on the hog, I must say, for my birthday, and my alcoholic friends knew that my favorite flavor alcohol is alcohol flavor.
Alcohol.
So yeah, it's even lined up downstairs. I need to take a picture of it.
I would say you're set for at least the next week.
Yeah, I got till tomorrow. And the Steelers are playing on Thanksgiving Day, so I'll probably drink some then because they're playing our hated rivals. So, and they are 10-0, by the way.
Wow.
Yes. So the 23rd got kind of off track because I was talking more about my birthday, and people are like, "Shut up!" So the 23rd is National Cashew Day, which is my favorite legume.
Love cashews.
Yeah, me too. It's National Espresso Day, which you are probably a fan of since you like coffee so much.
Well, I love espresso. Just got to be careful. Don't do much of it. You're just like, oh my God.
Yeah. Well, here's the funny thing, though. Espresso is less caffeine than regular coffee. It's just that people usually put 4 or 5 shots in there, which kind of equals out to regular coffee. But espresso itself is generally less caffeine. So it's also on the 23rd today, Cutty Sark Day.
Oh.
And that's because in 1869, the 3-masted clipper ship Cutty Sark was launched in Dunbarton, Scotland. It was one of the last to be built, one of the fastest, and the only one surviving today of those clipper ships. It is 212 feet long and 36 feet wide. It was initially used in the English-Chinese sea trade and retired to England for naval training in 1922. It was fully restored in 1957. It is in dry berth in Greenwich, London, as a sailing museum. Cutty Sark Scotch whiskey, bringing it back to some whiskey, created in 1923, was named after this clipper ship, and the ship's image appears on the label. So, happy birthday, Cutty Sark.
Happy birthday. It's good stuff.
On this date in 1889, Louis Glass installed the first jukebox, actually called the Nickel in the Slot phonograph, at the Palais Royal Saloon in San Francisco, California.
Nickel in the slot phonograph.
Yep, that's what it was actually called.
Or jukebox.
Yeah, I don't know where jukebox come from.
Not sure, but I mean, let's look at it from a marketing perspective. Gosh, what would you like to hear on the nickel in the slot phonograph machine? What would you like to hear on the jukebox? I think I'd rather call it a jukebox.
Yeah. So the word jukebox came into use in the United States beginning in 1940, apparently derived from the familiar usage of juke joint, derived from the Gullah word juke or jug, meaning disorderly, rowdy, or wicked.
Ooh, so it's a wicked place.
Yeah, yeah.
So juke joints, that's the dive.
Yep, exactly.
And a jukebox is what you find in a dive because they've got to have music playing.
That's right. And it sounds better than nickel in the slot phonograph. Hey, put another dime in the nickel in slot phonograph, baby.
He's a nickel in the slot phonograph machine hero.
Yes. His stars in his eyes. Because he or across his eyes because he had to sing all that.
Oh man!
On the 23rd in 1897, John Lee Love of Fall River, Massachusetts, received a patent for the simple portable pencil sharpener, the same type used today, the little bitty ones that you turn.
Little razor inside plastic.
Yeah.
In fact, I just put that on my grocery list because I don't know where my pencil sharpener is gone. I need a pencil sharpener. When you know you're going to talk about it today, clearly it's a sign. I must get one.
You must receive a pencil sharpener today. On this day on 1921, President Harding signs the Willis-Campbell Act, which prohibits doctors from prescribing beer or liquor.
There's such a law. Man, we need to get rid of that. Get that off the books.
Well, I know of some doctors who tell they don't prescribe it so much, but say, hey, glass of red wine, this and that, or, if you got digestive things, how about a beer because of the gas? And so, on President Harding and that stupid Willis-Campbell Act.
Hey, we need to fix that.
On this date in 1945, wartime rationing ended in the United States.
Yay!
Finally. Let me see. I've got an email on this. I've got to pull it up.
Something it occurs to me that there were times like that in our country when we had a hard time. There was stuff going on, and we came together as a country and sacrificed as an entire country to achieve our goals.
Yeah,
to support our war effort.
Such a novel idea, isn't it? Us coming together to
what a concept
for the greater good.
That Americans would rally around each other, not as any label other than just we're all neighbors, we're Americans, and let's go help each other. It's amazing what happens when people actually come out and talk to each other. And I mean, I'll get off that soapbox or I'll go on for an hour.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
No, nobody want to hear all that.
On the 24th, tomorrow, it is National Sardine Day. And we've talked about sardines in the last little bit. My friend Jim, who listens to this show, says that his mom was a big sardine eater. And Street Team Steven says, I love sardines. Got to be high quality from Spain or such. Mix a little bit of oil. It comes in with good vinegar and mustard to make a vinaigrette. Smash some sardines in, then toast some really good crusty sourdough. Mix on toast. Sprinkle Italian parsley and manja. And I'm like, sardine toast? And so he sent me a recipe for sardine toast. 2 tins of bristling sardines in olive oil. Those are the 3.75 ounce, 2-layer, high-quality Spanish Portuguese is good. 2 tablespoons finely chopped parsley leaves divided. 1 tablespoon sherry vinegar. 1/4 teaspoon lemon zest. Reserve the lemon and cut into 4 wedges. finely ground black pepper, 4 half-inch thick slices crusty bread such as sourdough, country loaf, or rye, and 1 ripe Hass avocado, coarse sea salt, and then you just do your thing with them. So,
I mean, it sounds pretty good.
It does. I don't know. I just don't know about the sardine thing, though. I'm not opposed to it. I just haven't done it. And, I like new things, so I might have to let him fix it because I'm not one to fix things for the first time. I might say, okay, I can do that.
But that recipe sounded like something, you can at least try it.
Oh, yeah. I'm not opposed to trying just about anything. I mean, I did have pig's feet and chitlins and all that stuff. So,
and asparagus.
And no, I don't. I've tried it. And
you did.
And most
that's what
things,
I'm saying.
And most
you have
things,
tried it.
Like, it gets to where I would never eat that, and then I grow into liking it. I used to didn't mind asparagus and have grown to just absolutely hate it. So it's actually gone backwards for me. So on the 24th, in addition to being the National Sardine Day, in 1904, Benjamin Holt invented the first successful track type or crawler tractor, a Caterpillar tractor. So not only is it a brand name, it is a type.
Interesting.
In 2005, on the 24th, the M&M's balloon in the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade hit a light pole, knocking the light to the street and injuring 2 spectators. In 2005, new licensing laws became effective at midnight in England and Wales, and more than 1,000 pubs, clubs, and supermarkets have been granted 24-hour licenses to sell alcohol.
Well.
Oh, yeah.
I wonder if the doctors there can prescribe alcohol.
Probably. You need a beer.
2. You need 2. You got it bad.
You got a bad case of the uck. On the 25th, it's National Parfait Day. And parfait, so we know, in France, where the dish originated, parfait is made by boiling cream, egg, sugar, and syrup to create a custard-like puree, which is sometimes served in a parfait glass. It can also be whipped cream, eggs, and fruit like we know here in America. On the 25th, in 1715, American Sibylla Masters was the first American to receive an English patent. She received it for a method for cleansing, curing, and refining of Indian corn. The patent was issued in her husband's name, of course, because Lord forbid a woman have anything. In 1884, on the 25th, John Mayenberg of St. Louis, Missouri, received the first U.S. patent for a process to produce evaporated milk. In 1884, also on the 25th, so the same day, Nestle registered the Nestle's trademark for condensed milk.
Condensed and evaporated on the same day. Coincidence? I think
not. That's right. On the 25th, on 1924, Cellular Cotton Products registered the Kleenex trademark. And on the 25th in 1940, Woody Woodpecker made his debut in the cartoon Knock Knock. On the 26th, it is Thanksgiving Day. The first National Thanksgiving Day proclaimed by President George Washington was declared on November 26th, 1789, the last Thursday of the month. In 1863, Abraham Lincoln made Thanksgiving an official annual holiday to be commemorated on the last Thursday in November. In 1939, FDR changed Thanksgiving from the last Thursday in November to the third Thursday, the last Thursday, usually the fourth, but occasionally a fifth Thursday. Thought to be too close to the Christmas holidays because, a week. 3 years later, in December 1941, a joint session of Congress changed it to the fourth Thursday in November, in part because not all states complied with Roosevelt's choice. So that's why, and just think the first National Thanksgiving Day was proclaimed on the 26th, which this year it is on the 26th. So
there you go. Come back.
That's right.
Full circle.
And going back again to my birthday, 50 years ago, my birthday, I was born on a Friday, so my birthday was on a Friday.
Well, is that a coincidence?
I think not. It's called time.
It's destiny playing out. That's what it is.
Serendipity. On the 26th, it's also National Cake Day
Yum.
and Goodbye Cream Day. Meaning
Goodbye Cream?
Cream, yeah. In 1968, on the 26th, Cream played their last show.
Oh.
That's Ginger Baker, Jack, what's his face? And
Clapton?
And Eric Clapton. Why can't I think of me being a musician? And
I was going to say, you should have that memorized.
I know people are.
Isn't that part of the rock and roll Bible?
Yes, Jack Bruce. I know. Jim was listening to this, and probably even Steven, like, Jack Bruce. So,
Come on, you idiot! You know about Jack. Come on.
I don't know Jack.
No, you don't. You never met him.
On the 20th,
He's a nice guy.
He's a swell dude. On the 26th, in 1867, J.B. Sutherland of Detroit, Michigan, received the first U.S. patent for a refrigerated rail car, an insulated double-walled car with compartments for 800 pounds of ice on each end.
Wow, that would have been cold.
Yeah, and heavy, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, we do it a little lighter these days.
Yeah. In 1942, that's when Roosevelt ordered the nationwide gasoline rationing beginning on December 1st, but he ordered it in this day on 1942. In 1992, on this day, Britain's Queen Elizabeth II volunteers to start paying taxes on her personal income and takes her children off the public payroll. I'm sure they loved that.
Yeah, but that was in backlash to public outcry saying, why are we spending all these millions of dollars to support the royals? What do they actually do for us?
Yeah, which if you do some, not you, but if people do some research, there is actually a viable reason to have the monarchy there. It could run because it's not a democracy like we are, not a republic like we are. But it does operate. There is an actual operating function of the crown. So it's an interesting story. We as Americans don't understand it. We just think of them as the great oppressors. But it's it is worth looking into. On the 26th in 1996, the Las Vegas Sands Hotel was imploded to make way for the Venetian Resort Hotel Casino. I wasn't there, but I do remember that happening because, the Sands, so many
iconic.
So many even iconic people. Sinatra and the Brat Pack and all that stuff was known for the Sands, right?
How many movies featured that?
A lot.
Yeah.
On the 27th, it's Maize Days, and that's M-A-I-Z-E. It's always
you call it corn.
Yes, it's always the day after Thanksgiving because it celebrates the significant role that corn has played in food history. It's also on the 27th National Bavarian Cream Pie Day. I'm a fan.
Me too.
It's National Craft Jerky Day, honoring small batch craft jerky makers. That's some of that craft jerky.
Yes, you're a small batch jerk. Yeah. Oh, no, jerky, sorry.
Yeah. I want some of that small batch jerk. On the 27th in 1826, John Walker invented the friction match, which is the strike anywhere. It's when you see them doing it off their shoe and off the wall and off their zippers and all that stuff. On the 27th in 1889, the historic 90-room Hotel Jerome opened in Aspen, Colorado. It was built by Jerome B. Wheeler, half owner of Macy's in New York. The first Colorado hotel with electricity and indoor plumbing, and the first west of the Mississippi with an elevator. And it is still standing today, and you can still stay there. I looked it up.
Cool.
And it's
cool.
It's been refurbished and still looks classic, but it's modernized. In 1910, on the 27th, the Pennsylvania Station, the largest railroad station in the world, opened to traffic. The building was demolished in 1963. The current version of it opened in 1968 in almost the exact same format and exact same space as the original. I don't know why they couldn't just leave it there, but Pennsylvania Railroad sold their stake. They demolished it, sold the air rights over top, so they demolished it, and then Amtrak built a new one. So it's there, or at least Amtrak owns it, so I don't know who built it, but I'm pretty sure it's them. On the 27th in 1923, Velveeta cheese registered the Velveeta trademark. I'm sorry, I like Velveeta.
And as a kid, my grandmother used to keep a box in her refrigerator.
Yeah.
And every time we went to the house, we'd get in there and slice off a big old thick slice and eat that. And today, I don't want to eat it like that. I find so many other cheeses I like better.
Well, yes, but for making cheese sauce, it's hard to beat that.
It's good for that. It is good for that.
Yeah.
Put a can of Rotel in there and some sausage. Ooh, man.
And some thicker dipping tortilla chips, because if you get the Mexican style that's supposed to just go through salsa, it won't last. Yeah, you break them off snap in there. Yeah. Then people get mad because you're digging in the dip. On the 27th in 1924, the first Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade happened. It was originally called a Christmas parade that happened on Thanksgiving. In 1945, on the 27th, CARE, that's the Cooperative for American Relief Everywhere, was founded to send relief packages to survivors of World War II in Europe. So CARE packages were actually a thing.
That's where it started. Interesting.
Yeah.
And, the whole thing about the Thanksgiving is a Christmas parade?
Yeah.
Because used to be Christmas season didn't start until Thanksgiving.
Right. And Santa always is the last thing to come through on that parade. Still.
And now Christmas season starts after the 4th of July.
Right. Christmas season starts January 2nd.
Yeah.
So
you get a week off. It's Christmas time again. Start shopping.
It's kind of like presidential campaigns. Supposedly one's going to start here right in January. So for the next one, we'll see.
Yeah.
Screw him, by the way. On the 28th, it's National French Toast Day. It's also
like some French toast.
It's also Alice's Restaurant Massacre Day.
Oh, yeah. What a great day.
Yes. On the 28th in 1520, 3 ships under the command of Portuguese explorer Ferdinand Magellan sailed from the Atlantic Ocean through the passage now known as the Straits of Magellan and entered the Sea of the South on November 28th, 1520. The sailing was the first westward crossing of the Pacific Ocean. Magellan was killed in fighting with the natives in the Philippines on April 27th, 1521. The following September, one of the fleet's ships returned to Spain laden with spices, thereby completing the first circumnavigation of the globe and vindicating Magellan's vision of an alternate route to the Spice Islands.
Think about that. 500 years ago, we were still trying to figure out how to get around this globe.
Exactly.
Where are we going to be in another 500 years?
How to get away from it.
Could very well be.
In 1863, on the 28th, Thanksgiving was celebrated as a regular American holiday for the first time. In 1869, W.F. Semple of Mount Vernon, Ohio, was issued the first chewing gum patent. In 1930, after a sandstorm in Morocco in 1930 on the 28th, there was a rain of mud in Paris and yellow sand fell in Spain.
Yuck.
Yes. 1942, fire destroyed the Coconut Grove nightclub in Boston, killing nearly 500 people. In 1948, on the 28th, the first Polaroid land camera went on sale in Boston, and this was the first successful self-developing camera. It took a photograph about a minute to develop. In 1965, on the 28th, folk singer-songwriter Arlo Guthrie, son of Woody Guthrie, was convicted of littering in the Berkshire County town of Stockbridge, Massachusetts, and the song Alice's Restaurant Massacre was born, with the 27 8x10 glossy pictures with arrows and circles on the paragraph on the back of each one. All that happened there. I want to kill.
Have you ever been convicted of a crime, boy?
It's a kid. It's a kid.
Kid.
You ever
I
been
want to kill.
We listened to that Saturday because one of my guests here said they hadn't heard it before. So I had Alexa out in the yard, and there it was. So, yeah, and I will listen to it again.
If you hadn't heard it before, you've got to. It's classic. You have to hear it at least one time in your life.
Yeah,
it's probably a loss somewhere.
And I have it on vinyl, so it will be played Thursday as I'm making the deviled eggs. Oh, speaking of the deviled eggs, I published the recipe for my deviled eggs on the blog today. Yeah, on the manwhoatetown.com blog.
You're going to be that generous to give us all that recipe?
Sure. Why not?
You're going to share that love?
Yeah, I want everybody to feel the love.
Because it's like a complete breakfast in one deviled egg.
Yeah, yep.
Amazing.
On the 28th in 2006, Texas Republican State Representative Betty Brown filed a bill in the Texas legislature which would declare Athens, Texas as the original home of the hamburger. Residents of New Haven, Connecticut strongly objected to that because they feel they were the original.
And thus the feud begins.
That's right. It's Hatfields and McCoys all over again.
It was Betty Brown's bill about hamburgers.
It was Betty Brown. Betty Brown bill. The bill by Betty Brown for burgers. It's Betty Brown's burger bill.
Might be a good night for a restaurant right there. Betty Brown's burger bill.
Betty Brown's
what you have on a burger? You have to confess that this was the home of the original burger, or we will not serve you.
Betty Brown says so.
That's all about Betty.
On the 29th, it's National Lemon Cream Pie Day.
Yum.
I like it.
Mm-hmm.
In 1933, the first state liquor stores ever were authorized, and that was in the state of Pennsylvania.
Bad idea.
Yeah, I think so. I've talked to a couple of people around here who actually are in favor. They're in favor of the ABC. They're not necessarily in favor of the states owning the rights to the sales of liquor. And not all states are. There's actually very few, just this being one of them. In 1942, wartime coffee rationing began in the United States.
Talk about making sacrifices. Giving up coffee? Man, I'd be going around going, hey, did you get coffee? Get coffee and give me yours.
Yeah. Hey, can we stop the killing so I can have some coffee?
I need some more coffee, please. Less bullets, more coffee.
Make coffee, not war. In 1948, on the 29th, the children's show Kukla, Fran, and Ollie premiered on NBC. And,
remember that.
In 1965, on the 29th at 11 p.m., 17-year-old Dale Cummings began his record-setting 14,118 consecutive sit-ups, finishing at 11 a.m. the following morning. Drinking only orange juice and ice water, he lost 8 pounds during the ordeal.
Wow.
Yeah, not me. Not doing it.
All right, soldier, give me 14,000.
All right. I did this last week. I can do it.
Yeah, I can do it again.
On the 29th.
Give me some orange juice.
No, not me, no. On the 29th in 1977, Apple Computer registered the Apple trademark for computers and computer programs.
Chomp.
In 1991, a dust storm causes a massive pileup of more than 100 vehicles in Coalinga, California. 17 people lost their lives and 150 more suffered serious injuries. So this is a week for sandstorms.
Yeah.
Or dust storms or something. Well, anyway, that's your food, holidays, and history for this week. Special thanks to James Eagle at foodreference.com for making us chuckle,
James.
roll our eyes, talk about sardines that we had in more detail than we ever have on this show.
Nickel in the slot phonographs.
Nickel in the slot phonographs, and promoting alcoholism via cranberries.
Yes, and prescriptions.
And prescriptions, that's right. Prescriptions for beer, liquor, and drinking with cranberry.
I think you had a bunch of friends who filled your prescriptions for your birthday.
My prescriptions, yes.
You're good now.
I'm good for the week.
You're fully stocked.
So we would like to go on with the Man Who Ate the Town podcast, part of the Less Desirables podcast network. Along with this podcast, you can listen to Less Desirables, The Beer Dads, Fan Interference, Wheeler's Dog Asylum, Tales of the Devereaux Diaries podcast. You will find these podcasts and their latest episodes on our network website and directory, tldpodnetwork.com. You'll also find social media links for each one there as well. We greatly appreciate if you visit our sponsors like Washington Perk and Provision Company, which is located at 301 West 4th Street. You'll find a little bit of everything at the Perk, a chip corner, a deli to get your sandwich on the go, local fruits, vegetables, meats, and dairy, Bingo Bango sodas, Wolfie's custard, a wall of beer and wine, and more. Washington Perk is better than a convenience store, not quite a grocery store. On Facebook, they are Washington Perk, or at Washington Perk _DTWS on Instagram. Humblebee Shop is located 1003 Brookstown Avenue in the west end of downtown Winston-Salem. You've not had good until you've tasted the treats and goodies that Brittany is whipping up on her shop, be it muffins, cakes, macarons, and many more. Things are vegan, gluten-free, delicious, all, I guarantee it. The Humblebee Shop wants to challenge your perception of scratch made and leave you with an experience you couldn't possibly forget. For more information, follow them on Facebook and Instagram or visit thehumblebeeshoppa.co.
That's SHOPPE.co.
Carrabba's Italian Grill is located at 587 South Stratford Road, and this is no chain, and they do great birthday dinners. This is a responsible family of restaurants. Daniel. Let's see. Daniel. Carrabba's and their owner partners take the communities they serve very seriously. It's in their charter. And for us, having a fantastic franchisee like Daniel certainly does not suck. Follow Carrabba's on social media and carrabbas.com.
No second there.
And our newest sponsor, also a great place to have your birthday dinner, is Mojito Latin Soul Food, located 723 North Trade Street. It's Cuban and Latin-inspired dishes from a fantastic family, the Mians. From brilliant ceviche, empanadas, and street corn to Cubano sandwiches, the best sandwich in town. Steak sandwiches and a Frita burger to shrimp and grits, vaca frita and ropa vieja. Beer and wine, and soon an ABC licensed Mojito Latin Seafood has your Latino cravings ready for your enjoyment. They do reservations, they do takeout, they have a rather large outdoor patio. Check them out on their Facebook page and MojitoLatinSoulFood.com. So thankful to have them with us on this journey.
And good luck. Happy hunting today.
Yes, Michael. Good luck with you. This is a reminder to all the listeners, and it's just good practice, not just for now, but always, because numbers are going up. Wash your damn hands. Wash with warm water and soap. Wash with that soap for about 20 seconds or more. And if you need a reference, of course, we got this.
Anything you want at Alice's Restaurant.
Alice's Restaurant.
You can get anything you want at Alice's Restaurant. So walk right in, it's around the back, just a half a mile from the railroad track. And you can get anything you want at Alice's
Alice's
Restaurant.
Restaurant.
Alice's Restaurant.
So there you go. So if you've
That'll
not
take you
heard,
about 20 seconds.
yeah, that's about right. So keep an eye on the blog and this podcast to find out more about the food news and happenings around town. If you have any food news, send us an email at Tim or Ray or Leah at themanwhoatetown.com. You can also contact us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Instant Messengers. Like us on Facebook. On Twitter, we are Man Who Number 8 the Town. On Instagram, we are Man Who 8 the Town. And now we invite you to call and leave a voicemail for the podcast or any podcast on the network. You can call 336-422-6862. That's right, 336-422.
No.
Leave us a voicemail and we'll play it on the podcast. Again, 336-422-NUM. Well, thank you to Hadassah Carter for coming on and talking about Systems
Yes.
for Change, Winston-Salem. And we hope to have Leah back. I think we have a guest next week. Yep, so hopefully we'll see everybody
I
back
thought we
there.
did.
Yeah.
I thought we did, and it was going to be really exciting.
Yes. A new old place. So
Cool.
Yeah, it's good. Good stuff. So my name is Tim,
My name's Ray.
and we are closing the recipe box. Until next time, thank you for reading and thank you for listening. Bon appetit.
Yamas.
The views and opinions stated by me or any of my guests are solely those of ours and do not necessarily reflect the opinions of our hosting companies, distributors, enemies, friends, or relatives. This podcast is copyrighted and cannot be reproduced or distributed without express written consent of the man who ate the town, that's me, and Such Limited Inc. However, if you ask nicely, we'll probably let you.